Seattle doesn't like me anymore. The UW system of the left polices my computer. They watch very closely what I do and what I say, and I'm on to them. I finally graduated from college and made honors, so it's harder for them to lie and cheat and psychopathically arrest me on psychiatric charges that they invent, manufacture, gaslight, and terrorize to secure what they would call bad vibrations from the object that they lured here from Pittsburgh, claiming to be offering me from protection and abuse. And they gave me glaucoma. I'd already been deafened. They subjected me to terrorism in a neuroplasm, murdered bystanders. This was, by the way, from the federal establishment operating through administration of their mental health community. Banned me from school, gave me diabetes, Parkinson's, chemically castrated me, made up libelous allegations, robbed me. Gave me glaucoma. It's horrible, the things that they've done in the name of protection from abuse. Why? Because they have these ravenous assassins saying, we should poison him in the mouth. We should give him HIV. We should do, and they consider this lunatic attitude psychiatry because they believe what Penis Gabriel invented, which is the idea that a Joseph Goebbels extreme right-wing American-born Nazi promoting Joseph Goebbels actually represented the Jewish Defense League and what they call cow hooves therapy on Mount Desert Island. The Duderak, deep doo-doo rack, would go out and chew the cow's hooves. He'd be friendly the rest of the time. You know, he had to do that or he'd get aggressive and bite somebody, they said. So this is what Seattle, Margaret Meads, which is the administration, the chief executive officers of their administration, are chewing cow hooves. We got to get their queerbait. You know, this is going to be a Clint Eastwood smoking gun autograph. Well, it's hard to avoid that that's a checkered environment, which I made a public remark about Gaza at City Council call for comments. And what I basically said was that my father was a World War II veteran. My brother is Jewish. I grew up in a Jewish Holocaust survivor community. One of the violent Zionists, when I was a very little boy, gave me a book to read called That Was Then, This Is Now. The moral of the novel is I just wanted to be sure that I hated you. The Jews are well aware of the antecedents of their behavior from the past. They're well aware that they're humiliating the United States of America. They just want to be sure that they hate us because in seeing us abandon our Palestinian brothers, they get satisfaction in showing us for what we are from the past and what we did to them. Never mind that my father hated Germany, raised a Jewish son that he put before all of his other children. Never mind that he served them nobly at the University of Pittsburgh. They stamped German Green Party and Donahue for Don Trump, Yoko Ono, and Netanyahu on the back of his obituary after they murdered him. They put a bat in his bed and poisoned him. So I know all that about them. Well, I wanted to discuss the way Pittsburgh operates. I'm not really here to discuss Seattle. I just thought I'd lay the groundwork. Pittsburgh, PA operates. That's where Daddy was chair of the Department of Education, School for Philosophy of Education at the University of Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh. Okay, so I'll give you an idea of what's up with them. For one thing, They are behind the ransom of ripping me off through Seattle. And then the tantrums in Seattle just, we'll poison you in the mouth if you don't give us those artworks. They're ripping off the museum. Schulman, I had to get out of Pittsburgh. I was homeless for 2 years trying to escape, which Schulman had lied about me with Peter Gabriel in his cowhouse therapy for a little gang of museum ripoffs from Ellis School, starring John Schulman, Leslie Katz, Dolly Myron, and someone from Gundorf. And this little gang were with Netanyahu, who that weirdo cousin Chucky, Joseph Biden, that zombie is in a trance, a Fu Manchu trance of love slavery. So that brutal, corrupt, sickening gangster Netanyahu. It's destroying the United States of America, and he thinks he's going to get away with it because he wears the cape of Captain. Beat your breast about Ronald Reagan because the queer ball was suspicious of the military-industrial complex. Joe Biden, which is necessary lapdog behavior from the Democratic Party. Okay, I want to talk about Pittsburgh, man. We see from the horrible, get your mind, Horrible. Do you know what that means? Do you need a dictionary? Webster's? Roget's Thesaurus. You can look for words that you know. Get it through your thick head. The horrible things they're doing to Palestinian children. Absolutely horrible things they're doing. You have to wonder about what they did with that man. I don't remember who that man was. What did he stand for? He wasn't the black man. No. That man who Manny Sanguin cried and sought for days. What did they do with Roberto Clemente? Roberto Clemente, he was an associate of Bill Mazeroski up there in Westmoreland County, where Mel Gibson lives. Give me an Iron City, yeehaw, Pittsburgh. The person who called me to announce Roberto's death lived on John Russell Circle in the Elite Highland Park. Mother had an empty house. They had a ruler rack for a TV that didn't have a TV that Billy Rod would sit on and spin around. They had a hassock that I would lie on and race around on. And they had a copy of my father's book. That was about all of their worldly possessions. And Russell Bennett and Gail Carolyn Burson notified me together. She said, did you hear from Russell? That Roberto Clemente had vamoosed. And nobody ever saw him again. And we assumed that as the plane went down, he said, amen. But he might have said, oh, Mr. Somoza. What we're dealing with is criminally insane. Bennett worked at Weinstein's. Gail Carolyn Burson is in this don't-know-who gang of Netanyahu's. And Biden is ripper backstabbing. A lieutenant from the U.S. Navy who served on the CVL 30 and raised a Jewish son, had him bar mitzvah, and loved him more dearly than any of his other children, no matter what any of them say. I could see it in his eyes. And Biden ripper backstabs him. Ripper backstabs him. In a trance from Fu Manchu.